Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, November 21st, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I always take time to be with my vulnerabilities. And today is our last day of Sun in Scorpio. We will have the Sun moving into Sagittarius as of 12:20 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesday, the 22nd. So here we are, 29 degrees Scorpio. The final degree always can test us, but we have some interesting astro working with it today. We're actually going to have Venus and Mercury conjunct today in Sagittarius. And I have a song that's been playing in my head since I looked at that, so I'm going to bring that up in just a second. But we have a few other things this week just to look ahead. Besides the Sun shifting energies into Sagittarius, we're also going to have a new moon in Sagittarius. It's going to be on Wednesday, the 23rd in the afternoon, about 3 p.m. Pacific time in the afternoon. And we also on Wednesday have Jupiter going direct. So Jupiter has been retrograde since July. And so here we have Jupiter going direct in Pisces, where it will then make a beeline over the next month back into Aries. Besides that, those are our big shifts. Big shifts this week. Besides birthday coming this week. My birthday is next Sunday. I'm looking at my calendar. So let's look at these astro energies for today. So, like I said, last day of Sun in Scorpio, 29 degrees Scorpio. So this is a call to remember our vulnerabilities and how important they are. Our topic for Sun in Scorpio was intimacy, being able to be intimate with ourselves, being able to go to those vulnerable, shadow, challenging places. Oftentimes, what's needed more than anything is our willingness to go there and our willingness to be present with it. I'm hearing the words pleasant in my head, and sometimes we need to be pleasant with those parts too, but mostly present with that energy. And this is so important before Sagittarius, because in Sagittarius we can look at possibilities, and Sagittarius is very optimistic. It's where we can try to almost run away from those shadow parts. But the thing is if we've integrated, if we've done the work that needs to be done the healing, held space for what needs to come up and through in Scorpio, then we're like, hey, this is an important place. Now I can look at these other possibilities, but that ability is still there to go there when needed. And that's what we need, I think, for balance, right? To be able to go to those places when we need, but also to be able to shift into possibilities and solutions. So Sagittarius and Scorpio, that's why they're my alchemists together. So with our alchemy today, besides Sun at 29 degrees, bringing up anything that needs to be brought up there, Mercury and Venus conjunct in Sagittarius at 6 degrees. And the song that I've been hearing since I looked at that was Words of Love by the Mamas and Papas. And it's basically words of love so soft and tender won't win a girl's heart anymore. It just keeps playing. But that's what I'm feeling with this energy is name of a movie. Everyone Say I Love You. It feels like today could be a very expressive and enthusiastic day when it comes to words of love. You may feel them bubbling up and the desire to express them. That is one way of interpreting these energies. So please, if you feel like expressing your words of love, make sure that they are genuine and not just hot air. I think that's part of that song, Words of Love, right? That there's genuine feeling behind them. Because Sagittarius energy can get carried away. All right? Just saying as a Sagittarius myself, Sagittarius energy can get carried away. The other way that this can be interpreted, though, and I can understand this myself because I've definitely felt this in myself at times. Venus, while it can be about, love and beautiful things, Venus can also be about our talents, our gifts, our worth, right? And so with Venus in Sagittarius, Venus might find worth in what they know, what they believe, right? And so with Mercury on top of that, you may feel this call to share what you know, what you believe, what's true for you. And it's never a bad thing to share beliefs and all that. What can be hard is when we do put so much of our worth behind whether people listen to us, whether they hear what we're saying, whether they understand us, whether they agree with us, all of that. Watch for that kind of ego popping up today with this connection of Mercury and Venus, because you may want to shout whatever it is that you want to shout from the rooftops. And that's wonderful. Sure, shout it from the rooftops, and then let people do with it what they will. Just keep that energy in mind. But you may find a lot of people just spouting sonnets of love today with this connection. Speaking of the love energy, we also have the moon finishing up in Libra. It will be moving into Scorpio at 9:16 a.m., but certainly in the morning with that Libra energy, you may, looking for mine, you may have rose-colored glasses on this morning. That may shift, that could shift, but you may have, let's say it this way, moments of rose-colored glasses through the day, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure you take off and see the world without the rose color sometimes too. Moon, before shifting, will connect to Pluto, so that's why I was like, there might be some of those moments. You might initially wake up from like a beautiful dream and then be like, it's 7 a.m. Monday, as we have that little Pluto power struggle going on. And the moon's going to be void, of course, for just a little bit in the morning, so you may feel a little extra tired and just want to be in that daydreamy space. But again, I do think that Venus-Mercury connection will bring some joyousness. Moon in Scorpio, taking us into the dark of the moon. So between Sun and Scorpio at 29 degrees and Moon moving into dark of the moon in Scorpio, definitely possibility to go to those places. And I do have the past lives card. This card is also the moon card, so it just can represent those hidden subconscious energies. And yet we have the harmony card too, and so it's like, be present, work through what's showing up, and recognize that as you are aiding it with even just your presence, you are being the shift, you are being the change. So that's so beautiful. The existence card, the Magician, I'm definitely feeling this with the Venus Mercury conjunction energy. Even though we're in dark of the moon, this is beautiful setup for intention. So this may be a good day to work on the new moon intentions coming. Just jumped around the door opening. Don't know if you saw that, but finishing up, we have the guidance card. That may also work with like speaking up today, because sometimes we have these things. I have things all the time that I want to say, and sometimes I'm like, am I meant to say this right now? And sometimes it's a yes, and sometimes it's a no. So you may want to check in with this energy, because it's very enthusiastic, but sometimes, even though the Astros lined up, it's not quite the time. Our final card is the comparison card. I would say watch for this. Watch where you're comparing yourself to anybody else. This may be part of the work stuff. This may be part of some of the shadow stuff as well, as we are finishing up this Scorpio energy. So yeah, just look for that. Look for where your mind starts going into that mode. And again, how it affects your personal worth. So, leaving that here for today. I would like to start today my word of the day. And I'm going to start taking a list for somebody who's going to win in about a month. We'll do it right before Christmas. The year ahead reading. So what is the word of the day? The word of the day is not, I'm not going to give you a word. You guys have to guess the word. What is my favorite sign? And you'll get put on the list whether you guess my favorite sign correctly or not. So guess my favorite sign in the comments to be entered into the drawing. And for every comment, you will be added to the drawing, just so you know. So that's it. So you can book a reading with me. Besides that, email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.